Hey guys, we're going to have a look at a bit of a blast from the past in terms of the Irrlicht source code, what's capable of achieving. Some of the old stuff, of course. Irrlicht is an old game engine, of course. CopyCube is based on Irrlicht 1.5. The latest version of Irrlicht is 1.85, so there's new additions been added to the Irrlicht core engine over the years. But anyway, I thought I should go through some of the cooler things that other people have achieved with Irrlicht itself, which in theory could be added into CopyCube. It's possible, with a bit of work, quite a bit of work actually. But anyway, let's have a look at that. So I found this page on the Irrlicht Engine forum, and some advanced effects by a person called Vetrotech. He's a very skillful guy with shaders and so forth. So I've downloaded a lot of his samples and things, and I'm going to have a look at some of them now. So these are the ones I think he's responsible for. Now we'll start with this one, water. It's a more slightly advanced version of water effects. He uses shaders for a lot of things. He does use his own sound engine, Audier, and so we'll have a look at some of these post-processing effects he's got here, because some of them are actually quite good. So there's the lens flare scene node that someone else made. I think it was someone else, and there's the cloud scene node that for a while back I tried to incorporate. I wasn't successful with it into CopyCube at the moment, but maybe one day. Anyway, so these are different things we can add it in. So here's the release section here, and he's compiled it all ready to go, exe, and there's his shader data. He's done it for both for OGL, OpenGL, and DirectX 9. So there's all the OpenGL stuff. These are all post-processing shaders, effectively, as I understand it. So there's FXAA. Now that's something I would love to put into CopyCube. There it is, anti-aliasing, fast approximate anti-aliasing. A lot of people use that in that post-processing method, so I'll be trying to add that in as well actually. There's a few other cool ones. His main focus is actually OpenGL rather than DirectX, but most of them are covered under HLSL code as well, shader code. Anyway, so basically go through in order. We'll just have a look. So it seems to go in order from when you're running it. So you've got the water. So it starts with bypass, which is nothing, and then it goes into anti-aliasing, FXAA, posterized blur, horizontal and vertical blur, black and white, zoom, tile, swirl, crosshatch, pixelize, stitching, Gaussian blur, horizontal, Gauss blur, vertical. So have a look at those in order now, just because it's quite cool actually. So let's start with that. So those ones there, and so I'll just go back up here and run it, and I'll run it in OpenGL. It has a few more functionality than DirectX.
Multiple effects brought to you by Vetrotech.
That's pretty cool. So there's the sun flare he's got there. It's using occlusion culling of the game engine to slowly fade it in and fade it out. I don't have that in my game. I've just got a on and off sort of switch. Anyway, it works very similar anyway. Anyway, so here's this dude running around. I think that's a takeoff of Ogre 3D, isn't it? A different game engine. Pretty sure. Anyway, so there's the it's a nice shader for the water. I'll just go underneath it and you'll see. So that's pretty cool. Changes music, and you've got a very cool adjustment above the water. It looks quite good. Actually, that's better than CopyCube's version of the water. Anyway, it's very good. Alright, so here's the starting scene. I'll just reset it.
Reset all post-process passes.
So I press 9 and just resets everything. So that's at the start. The screen I'm looking at says 624 frames per second. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's start the anti-aliasing, number 1. There it is there, see that? Anti-aliasing, that's working. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. Okay, so what's the next one? Oh, that turned anti-aliasing off. Posture, Posturize, I think that's called posturize, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Next one. Okay, there's a nice blur there. Very general blur. It's quite cool. Horizontal blur and then a vertical blur. So that's horizontal blur at the moment. And then we'll go vertical. There's vertical. Alright, okay, interesting. And there's black and white. Oh, that's pretty cool, isn't it? See, that's like a zoom effect. So that's pretty nice. Zoom, there you go. Then we've got tiles, swirl, and crosshatch. Tiles, swirl. That's pretty funny. Crosshatch. And then we got this one, pixelate, like a pixelate type thing, isn't it? Yeah, pixelize, stitching, and then Gaussian blur, horizontal and vertical. Stitching, okay, horizontal blur, vertical blur, yeah, well it's very similar to the other blurs, very similar, hard to tell the difference. And that's the start, that's reset back again. Same as number 9, to reset it.
Reset all process passes.
Yeah, okay, it's the same. If you notice, there's the cloud scene node, multi-level cloud scene node that I tried to incorporate. I did a video about that, yeah. So, but he's got it working. He's got the occlusion culling working, obviously, and the lens flare, which I also got working into CopyCube. Yeah, so it's a bit big. Obviously, that's too big, you know. Obviously, not quite right. I mean, it's only a demo, but yeah. So it's pretty cool, isn't it? I like the water, how the water effects getting into the water. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the look of the above the water is very cool. How it modifies the texture. Actually, it's very cool. All right. Yeah, so yeah, he's got a lot of cool post-processing here. He's got most of them covered under DirectX shader code as well. We'll just quickly run that. It's the same, but it's just a couple. Some of them are not in it. I'll go DirectX this time.
Multiple effects brought to you by VectorTech.
Okay, see these sun flares? The sun flare seems to be working better under DirectX maybe. But anyway, it's supposed to slowly fade in and fade out a little bit, not just suddenly turn on and off. So that's why it's using occlusion culling for that, which I also got working in CopyCube. So that's cool. Yeah, so it's basically the same. Everything else is works pretty much the same. Yeah, that's reset, and then you got, there you go, anti-aliasing, posturize, blur, vertical, horizontal and vertical, black and white. Oh, that's cool. I like that one. That's like a zoom. I could use that one in my game, I think. If you add a different color to it, it would even be better. That's quite cool. I like that. Yeah, that one. And that one, that's reset back to the start again. Yeah, so not as many under DirectX 9, but still quite cool. Yeah, so pretty skillful guy. I'm just showing this off because not only it's just to showcase some of the cool things that others have done in the past, but it's, you know, it's possible that some of this stuff I might be able to get working in CopyCube as well. I don't know. I'm not really good at shaders, and I'm certainly not good with shaders in this source code of the game engine. But you never know. I might get it to work. All right, so that's that one. We'll do this island one next. I think it's got a few cool things in it. Release. So here's all his main things he can use. He's been using water scene node, his own sound system. There's the clown scene node. There's the lens flare scene node. Screen quad. That's for post processing to put all the information on it. And sun flare. That needs that as well, I guess. Is that the lens flare or the sun flare? Not sure if it's the same thing. GUI. Okay. So anyway, he's got his own bit of code for that, which is just adjustments on Irrlicht, using the Irrlicht source code and plus the shader stuff. So he's using his own compiled DLL file for that to run everything. It's an older one, obviously, 2016. Shaders, so he's got both GSSL, so 4 for that and 4 for that supposedly, so about the same. So let's run that and have a look at that. So that's a nice little demo level. A little bit too much fog, obviously, but interesting how it's all blurred and fogged out. Obviously, it's older graphics. You've got that classic DirectX 9 old look about it, which is excessively darks. Basically, excessively darks, low resolution textures. Is how I would describe the problems with old-fashioned DirectX 9 graphics. There's a nice, there you go. It's the same shader, just running a bit different speed. It's interesting. So DirectX 9, it's got that old classic look. You could fix all that up. You'd have to recolor it's oversaturation is the main problem with these old game graphics. Too much saturation, not enough quality lighting, and low resolution textures and boxy geometry. So those are all the problems of the old graphics. But I mean, it's not a bad little demo level. It's got a lot of stuff in it. Just need to get rid of too much fog, obviously. I mean, you could theoretically fix it up. You'd have to redo the textures, upscale the textures, something horrid. Get rid of the oversaturation. Increase the geometry level a little bit here and there, probably. Have better quality lighting, and it might look half alright then. Here's a little animated character. Pretty cool little animated character. Anyway, must be something from a game they either made or they were gonna make. I don't know, but I'm not sure about that. See if we can show some information. No?
Reset all post-process caches.
There was the ability to show some information here somewhere. Can't seem to find it.
Time was required post-processing.
Oh, there you go. There's the cloud system. Oh, he hasn't got the lens flare going. Anyway, you can see a bit better now, at least. Would have been a nice section of a little game. Quite a cool little area, actually. Nice sky background, nice clouds. The problem with the old graphics, you can tell straight away, it's just low resolution everything. Low resolution textures, low geometry level detail. too much saturation in the colours, actually. Way too much saturation. Way too much. Yeah. I don't know why they used to always do that. Oversaturate the colours in the old textures too much. Anyway. What's this? What are we doing? Changing the sky? Changing the clouds? Okay, let's turn it back on again.
Reset all post-process pastries. Toggle screen block post-processing.
There used to be the ability to show different oh, there we go. Show a bit of information. Okay, there it is. What do we got? Different shaders is running. Camera, target. Yeah. Screen space, ambient occlusion. I'd like to get that working. Gee, I'd really like to get that working in CopyCube. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So he's got different way to show different information on the screen. I don't know which one refers to what actually. Anyway. Not sure what's what. Anyway. That's different. It's like a horror movie, isn't it? What else we got? So go back to last of the old architecture. We've got Oak Forest, and then we've got Wolfenstein, Quake 2. So I don't know if they've got the original levels or they've rebuilt it. I'm not sure what happened there, but what's this Oak Forest? Release, compiled. We'll try OpenGL for starters because it seems to be his main focus. Oops, could not open file texture. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Alright, this is a little demo outdoor scene. This is a talking head or something he's got here. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so that's no moving plants, but plants do look pretty okay, apart from low textures. Yeah, everything's low textures in the old days, and low polygon, low textures, low everything. But I guess it's a basic scene. It's pre-baked colours and everything. Got a bit of fog. It's basic, but it's sort of okay, I suppose. Not sure what's a bit too dark underneath the trees. I think that's meant to be baked shading, like a shading effect of the trees or something. Doesn't really work that well, that idea. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, you know, for an old DirectX 9 level, you can see that it's not too bad. Trees are okay. Not moving. That's the only problem. If you wanted dynamic moving ones, you'd have to go back use the CopyCube version type of stuff. Same with the plants. I like moving plants. You know, the texture itself is it looks to be 3D. It's not too bad in itself. 3D look, yeah, I think it's 3D. Yeah, that's interesting. What do we got up the top? FPS 350. Yeah, not really great. It's for a pretty small little level. I guess those trees probably account for it quite a bit. Okay, what else we got? You're going to see this is some pretty cool stuff here. I don't really like demonic evil games. I'm just straight up. I just don't think they're appropriate, but some people do. But I will show you some stuff from Quake levels. It's got a lot of this is all light map baked. I've noticed. I think the file is loaded from a BSP file format, and for some reason that seems to be the best file format of CopyCube and Irrlicht. It just loads everything by default, the textures, the light maps, everything just lines up. better than any other format actually, pretty much. Anyway, so that's an old level. I'm not sure if this is a copy of some game that was sold originally or by whatever. I'm not sure, but probably was. It's probably used like a deathmatch level at some point by, you know, people shooting each other or something. Yeah, it's got some interesting stuff. The blue lighting, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. That's supposed to be a light fixture. I think a lot of these maps were never quite fully completed. I think they're like imitating or trying to transfer an existing Quake 2 level into Irrlicht basically, and most of it carried over but not all of it. So you got lights underneath it but no light emissive thingo happening here at all. So some of it's very close, some of it's only like half done. So that's interesting. What's all this stuff? Heaps of stuff. A lot of old Quake maps. Yeah, not my favourite. Don't really go for that stuff myself. Got a bit of an effect going on there. Transparency, and looks like something is probably turning to get that effect, I think. Yeah. So I'm just interested to see how they did the effects. Oh, look at that. They got a moving texture. So moving texture coordinates, yeah, well, that's alright. With emissive, probably with emissive, I would say. Color, yeah. Here we go. Typical demonic stuff. Yeah, some people like that. I don't know why. Why do you like stuff like that for? Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting. Effect. I like how the effect. That's an interesting effect. How they got a turning light. So obviously it's just it's probably just a 2D plane mesh with strong emissive or transparent add and just turning in a circle. Actually looks quite good. I like that how they've done it. I bet you that's transparent add. It probably just adds to the. So it's not actually lighting anything. It just looks like it's producing light. So. And it's done such, it's only a very slight transparency that it actually looks like it's like a light effect. Quite good actually, the effect, how they've done that. Okay, it's a billboard, so it follows you wherever you go. Yeah. Alright. What about the hands? How did you do that? Looks like it's turning two ways. Anyway. Yeah, interesting. Interesting effect. What's this meant to be? So yeah, that's interesting for an old level, I guess. I'm just more interested. Oh, there you go. Pentagram. There you go. Devil worship. There you go. Don't tell me it's not devil worship. It is. All right. What else we got? I'm just sort of interested in some of the effects, and also just to see. There's a nice little animated texture there. Typical stuff, baked lighting. That's interesting how they've done that. Not sure how they did that. Oh, that's a moving. That's quite good how they've got that moving effect of the flag type of moving material type effect. And then they've added the some sort of. It must be an animated texture, I'm thinking, on top of it. And they're just cycling it. Could be wrong, but well, I think so. Yeah, anyway. There's a ton of stuff there. Feel free to download it and have a look for yourself. What else we got? Some of these towns and effects. There we go. Nice little created area, old style graphics, of course. That, yeah, how would you describe old style graphics? Once again, it's excessively dark darks, low resolution textures, effectively low resolution lighting too, actually, to be honest, because it's probably a fixed function pipeline running here. I mean, that DirectX 9, even the shader code for DirectX 9, I could be mistaken, but maybe that's not the case. It has issues. You can tell the difference between, you know, like more modern graphics. maybe not. Maybe that's not the case. Yeah. I just like to work this stuff out because I don't want to have make a game that looks old from the get-go. That's just, what's the point of that? Yeah, it's interesting. Sort of like a deathmatch scene, probably, where you run around shooting each other, I suppose. Small area, but yeah. Yeah, sort of interesting. Always too dark. Always DirectX, the old games, it's always too dark. The darks were just too dark. Yeah, basically. That's the main problem. The lighting is just not good. There's no global illumination like modern graphics. There's no ray traced lighting. There's no... it's probably mostly not per... It's not per pixel lighting either in most cases like this. It's probably per vertex. Yeah, so just low quality lighting. Have a quick look at a couple of these other ones. That's cool. This is like a sci-fi environment. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? How they've done that. Yeah, no, they probably just use texture coordinates. It's a fixed image with the text on it, and then just moving the texture coordinates. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's all they've done, which is, yeah, it's interesting. Little level here. It's not a terrible design. It's sort of it's basic, but it's okay. Yeah, no specular highlights that I can see used. Yeah. I've got a little, what's that? Billboard? Yeah, billboard animated texture, which is not bad. I mean, it's not terrible, is it? I mean, it's not high quality like modern game engines, but it's not too bad. What do we got? A flashing light here, have we? They probably should have made that emissive as well. That would be even better, wouldn't it? Emissive bright light. Some of the textures like that, I mean, you could work with that and improve it. That's not too bad. The design of it seems okay to me. The railings, you actually got rounded railings for once instead of boxy square looking things, which is okay, not bad. Low resolution, like a flat image there of piping, but I suppose with normal map, you could probably make that look half alright. Got a bit of a Russian area here. That's not bad done, is it? Looks actually okay. That'd have to be a texture. They would never use geometry to do all that detail. It actually looks pretty good the way they've done it. Fairly realistic. How would they have done that? It's definitely not geometry. It's just a transparent texture. Maybe there's two images, one behind the other, just at the right spot, possibly. Yeah, that's interesting. You could fix this level up and make something of it. Theoretically, if you wanted to. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but yeah. Interesting. CCP. Underground piping. Yeah, I think they'd probably want to make it better. They should have used specular lighting and to really pop out certain aspects of it. Yeah, but yeah, sort of interesting in a way. Use a lot more. They'd want to use bloom and much higher emissive colours as well, ideally. But yeah, so you got bake lighting, and that's just changing, probably just swapping between two textures, or I would think. Yeah, that's interesting. I sort of like sci-fi stuff because I like that sort of stuff myself. So let's just have a quick look at that. Yeah. Says it's cool. They reckon it's cool, this one. Let's see what cool means. Alright, got some bake lighting and Quake 3 Arena. Huh. I've never got into the Quake thing much, so I don't know about that. Whether this was ever used in the game, maybe it was. One of the one of the deathmatch levels you can load and play, I suppose. Run around shooting each other. Blue. Okay, blue or red. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. It's got that little light around the edge. Looks good like that. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. What do we got here? That's cool. How they've done that. That's... How did they do that? Well, I'm guessing, I don't know, it's probably just changing the size of a thing behind it, and it just looks like it's lighting in the sections or something. Possibly. Unless it's could be an animated texture as well, I suppose. Not sure how they did that. Yeah. Starting the blue, huh? Blue versus red. Fair enough. Alright, that's sort of interesting. What else we got? Yeah, all these older levels, they would have used pretty much the same techniques. Well, that's cool, isn't it? There's a bit of detail here. It's like an underground mine or something coming out here. Okay, you got transparent texture on the wall. Got some trees and grass. Oh, it's moving as well. That's cool. That's not bad. Got some emissive lights and baked lighting done by the looks of it. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, does it? For, you know, for old, talk about for an old game. Not talking about for modern game engines, but for old school, it's not too bad. It popped in. Did you see that? That plant just popped in. So they've got some sort of level of detail thing popping in and popping out. CopyCube doesn't have that. I could theoretically make that. I was thinking about that the other week actually. If you had a ton of trees and stuff in your level for performance, you could cycle through it and only show the ones within a certain distance, of course. What's up here? Nothing. Well, that's cool, isn't it? Actually looks good. I like how they've done that. That's very cool. Even for old tech. You know, how the effect of it. That's quite good. Yeah, not bad. Works quite well. Changing transparency levels and just moving the height up and down, I guess. That's all it is. So the idea is to show you can probably get in there. Oh, look at that pyramid now. Ha! You can get in there and fly up in the air. Poink. Go flying. Yeah. And it's got a bit of dust particles floating around. That's interesting. That must be a shader, obviously, that's doing that. I would think. Yeah. Just floating around. Some rocks. Yeah, well, that was not bad. It's got some interesting stuff in it. Can't get through there. Not supposed to get through there. Yeah, some quite nice. That's a nice textured roof, isn't it? Pretty good. Quite good, actually. Yeah. yeah, simple things can work quite well. I mean, obviously that's too dark. I'm not sure what happened to the colour, but other than that, it works quite well. Just a bit of a transparent texture stuck on the edge. Just moved out a little bit and put your transparent plant image on that. Works quite okay. Alright, that's interesting. What's this one? Oh, that's cool, isn't it? A lot of detail put into that. Bake lighting, the design, it's not bad. Yeah. Okay, those lights look quite good actually, even though they're probably just like a texture, a fixed texture. Actually, it doesn't look too bad from a distance. Yeah, it's just a fixed texture, but yeah, no, it's alright. Quite alright. Not actually transparent, just a texture. What do we got here? Got a fan, have we? That's the shadow of the fan, I believe. I think it's actually a texture moving in a dark texture moving. Pretty sure that's what it is. Oh look, yeah. So I'm just walked straight through it. So it's effectively. It could be just a big texture that's on an object, that a round thing that's turning, which is probably what it is. It's probably just a turning round texture. That's probably geometry, actual geometry turning. That's meant. They probably should have stuck it directly underneath to, I think, do a better effect. Anyway, yeah, okay, it's interesting. Just check it out. The design work. The design itself, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's just, oh look at that. They've got a bit of sunlight effect. That would be a light shaft texture. Yeah. With a transparent add texture on it. You know, it looks actually not too bad. In a way, in its own way, as long as the sun doesn't move, it's alright. Hard to see unless you get right up close, but I mean, when you are there, when you do get up close, it's not too bad. As you can see there, it's I'm just clipping in and out of the texture. Yeah, so it's just a 2D plane mesh. Well, it's probably like a box texture, I think. Pretty sure, or it could be a single plane 2D mesh texture. On a billboard, is it? On a billboard or something? Not sure. Anyway, something like that. It appears to be just or that case, it's just 2D plane mesh. Okay, double-sided. Yeah, looks like that. Yeah, oh, it's sort of interesting. Yeah, obviously old school graphics. The darks are too dark. It's in other words, it suddenly goes from a light area to a really dark area in a short distance. Light doesn't actually work like that. It's a more slow diffuse over a bigger area. So you're better off using a bit more ambient lighting and less reliant on point and spot lighting to give that more realistic effect, I think. There's another, what is it? It's like a sci-fi area or something. That's a cool little transition. Look, it's flashing too. It's not bad. What's this? Oh yeah, yeah, it comes in and out. Yeah, that's cool. I created that same thing in the fixed function pipeline. I can do that. Don't even need a shader. Yeah. What's this? Effect, special effect. Probably not working quite right, but a bit hard to see what's going on there. Yeah. They probably had it more baked lighting around that light, but then again you'd have to fade in and fade out the baked lighting. But yeah, if it's I I've created that in CopyCube, that the light maps you can fade in and fade out, so that would have worked even better with the way I did it, but it's not bad. Here's a drink machine, that's pretty funny. Huh. That's cool. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Red versus blue. Yeah, it's like a deathmatch level or something. Okay. Flashing lights. They've got their own drink machine. Huh. Alright, that's that one. Yeah, same old, same old. Reminds me of Unreal game. The old game used to play called Unreal. It's not the game engine, the game itself. It'd have a lot of look like that old Byzantinian brick castle look, fighting aliens and stuff all the time. Okay, we've got something shooting going up there. Looks alright, doesn't it? It's very mild, but you can see it. I think it's probably an animated texture. I'm not entirely sure how they've done that. It's a bit dark in some spots. A bit hard to see all the time. Anyway, so yeah, the old DirectX 9 look. Darks are too dark. The brights are probably too bright in some cases. Oversaturated colors, low resolution textures. Yeah, not enough ambient lighting, or in some cases no ambient lighting. Yeah, just to make the darks too dark, frankly, if you ask me. What's in here? What's this? I think it's not supposed to be in there. Anyway, plants, yeah, that's alright. Not too bad, looks pretty good. It's actually geometry, I think, yeah. Bit of geometry there. It's probably like little 2D plane meshes attached, and each of that little leaf is it's just a single texture by itself. Yeah, that's how they would have done that. Not actual individual geometry to make the image, because it's just a texture for each leaf. That would be the best way to do it. Yeah, so you can still get things sticking out of the wall, and then make it double-sided, but and still have that look as well. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, what's this? I get flying over this way, are we? The air. Go for a jump. I think it's a bit hasn't been lit up properly this side for some reason. Can't see anything going on here. Yeah, are you supposed to be able to jump across? Doink. Alright. Yeah, I think a lot of these levels just not fully completed. Vast is crap, according to that. Okay, very low geometry. It looks terrible, actually. I think they haven't done the turned on transparency properly. Had they done that, the blacks would disappear and it would look a lot better. Yeah, I think it's meant to be the top of trees or something, probably like a bush. This is it's meant to be like a hedge. Yeah, not real great. Very low polygon. Castle itself is sort of alright, half okay, but anyway, yeah. Alright, that one. Survival. Okay, that looks a bit better. A bit more detail. Quite a bit more detail on that door. Looks quite good actually. And the brick, that's a nice texture. Slightly low resolution, but still not terrible. It's okay. Especially from a distance anyway. Well, that's alright. I mean, detail-wise, it's pretty good actually. Yeah, obviously it's probably, what is it, the direct lighting is just a bit too bright. But, yeah, a bit too bright. But, Oh, look at that. That's like, reminds me of, you know, that demo scene with the lion head like that a lot of people use to compare the graphics. Sponsor, that's it. Yeah, see that overblown lighting up in a short area. It's just that's too bright actually. Yeah, lighting's too bright. Yeah, the darks are too dark and the brights are too bright, basically. Oh, look at that! We've got a bit of water droplets. That's cool. Cool little idea. It works quite well. Seems, I would take a guess that could be a shader. If it's not an animated texture, then it's on a 2D plane mesh because you can't see it on the side. Anyway, it looks quite good. How they've done that. No, it's way too overblown lighting. Something horrid. Yeah. Oh, look at that. We've got something working here. Steam coming up out of that. Just a animated, just a texture that's moving up. Yeah, a few layers of it working together. It's alright, not terrible. I would even say some animated textures look better than some particle systems. Some, you know, not talking about the latest game engines, but some particle systems don't look that great. It's hard to get it to look right with Steam. Sometimes using, oh, that's interesting. You've got a moving leaves. That's quite cool, isn't it? So it's much better to have moving leaves than static, if you ask me. That's interesting. Probably should move a little bit more than that so you can see it better. But anyway, that's all right. That would have to be baked lighting, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Those shadows, I would take a guess. Yeah. So anyway, that one's not too bad. The design and the quality still low compared to today's games, but the texture quality obviously, but a bit better than the other ones. Just a flat texture. Doesn't appear to have any normal mapping or anything else that I can see. Yeah. Anyway, sort of right. What do we got? Storm. What's this? Ah, too dark again. Always so dark. That's sort of cool in a way. Changing the emissive amount over time. What's this? Server side mod. Okay. I've got some overlapping geometry there. Sapphire. That's an old graphics card, isn't it? Was it Radeon Sapphire? Yeah. There we go. ATI Radeon. Yeah. All right. Well, it's interesting, I guess. Sort of. Baked lighting. Not particularly. Baked lighting can only make it so bright. It won't be. It's not as good as emissive lighting. That's interesting. Goes up and down and moves at the same time. So you're getting a double effect there. Yeah, okay. There's a emissive roof light. Alright, well that's some Quake stuff. There's a lot of things here. We'll just do one more, that's it. Whatever this is. Deimos, is it? Okay, a bit more texture detail there. Still low for modern game engines, but you know, for in that era, at least that looks from a distance half alright. Got some fake lighting and stuff here. Okay, got a bit of colour, some pictures. Gigantic keyboard, of course. So this one looks a bit better, doesn't it? A bit more detail. So that walkway, that texture is actually quite good. I don't mind that one. You could actually use that in something. If it wasn't copyright, that is. Yeah, baked texture. So that's a baked specular design. It's not terrible. Yeah. Okay. So the actual texture detail is a lot better than the other ones. Still, you know, the floor is a bit low. You could make it much better than that, but the design itself is actually quite good. I like the design, how they've done it. That same design in a much higher resolution would look very good in any game, actually. Yeah, it's probably copyright though. So you can't use it. Got some computers. Yeah. Alright, well that's interesting. So that's all basic, yeah, typical sort of Quake stuff. Yeah, some of the old technology, how it looked. I mean, yeah, they could get away with some interesting stuff for some of it. Let's go to a different one. Let's go back to this is an animated. I'll just show you this one quickly. Just an animated with specular highlights. You can see this dude, probably out of like Quake or something, some game or Doom or Quake or something or other. You can see different specular highlights on it. Bit gross, grotesque, but detailed though, at least. Yeah, quite grotesque, that's for sure. I think he's having. I think it's funny. It's all very funny. Doesn't look very happy to me. Look at this guy. Oh dear, what a freak. He's got things growing out of his knees. Dear, oh dear. Alright, so that's that. What do we got here? Nothing much. Alright. What's this on that? There's a lot of information showing there. What do we got? Key mode. Changing different things. Okay, we're just changing the lighting and different things. Normal mapping. Oh, that's ambient occlusion, right? Number 4. I believe that's, yeah, it's actually got ambient occlusion. That's working right there. Screen, that would probably, would it be screen space ambient occlusion? Probably. And that's something else. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's meant to be. 6. What's it say? Tangents. That's something else. I don't know what that is. Get rid of that. Alright. Fog shader control. What's this one? Okay, we'll go A. Okay, this is like a ground fog. It's actually quite cool. Obviously I would use more transparency in it, but yeah, how it works is actually pretty good. How they using a shader to run that, obviously. You got an interesting. I got a bit of specular highlights on the wall. It's like an alien hive or something. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and does not seem to work under DirectX. I've tried this. Oh, that's interesting. You change the lighting. There we go, dark. It's interesting. Yeah, for some reason, if I run it again under DirectX, it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, it's just basic without it. That ground fog does not work. Specular highlights work quite well, isn't it? Quite cool. What's he got there? It's a reflection of the wall, I think. Yeah, it's not a terrible. It's not too bad. Doesn't seem to go anywhere though. Just a big. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's sort of interesting, isn't it? What else? Soul Sears. Did we do this one? I don't think so. Lights, actually. I say that. See the nice, really nice specular highlights, and it's he's got it through shader, proper shader, so it only influences certain parts of the player, like like a proper PBR lighting, basically. Pretty good. Looks pretty good. Yeah, the nice metallic look on the sci-fi does look quite good actually, and then you got the wall, like a plasticky shiny wall, metallic surfaces. Looks quite good. Those look, when they're lit up, those surfaces look quite good. These ones here. This is actually the resolution of these textures are not that high. I think it's like 512. It still looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's not too bad. I suppose because it's quite dark. Everything's always dark with this. The floor looks quite good. Yeah, everything's pretty good actually. Got a bit of a fluoro look to it. Red light, gold light, green light, then an orange light. I think with this one you can change the settings. There you go, you can change the player and the gun and the animations. That's interesting. Change his gun, change the animation, walking, change reload, aim and walk. Not much else, just walking and shooting. Anyway, yeah. Change some of the lighting for whatever it's worth. Turn off different stuff. Stop it. Yeah, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, so that's some pretty interesting stuff by Vectrotech. He's got the ability to show PBR rendering with up to 8 textures actually. He's in his code. If you go through his code, you'll see lots of notes about that. He can, it's not limited to 4 like CopyCube, but 8. So you put any number of the typical textures in it and run it that way. Supposedly with these latest versions. Not sure why you'd need 8, but anyway, that's quite interesting. So you'd have probably diffuse, normal, ambient occlusion, specular. That makes and then roughness. Did I miss one? Diffuse, normal maps, ambient occlusion. Okay, emissive. So that's about 5 or 6 textures you might want to use that could, the most common ones. There's a couple of others you could throw in occasionally, but about 5 or 6 is your typical maximum you would want. But yeah, it's interesting what he's done. Not sure if that could ever be put into CopyCube, quite frankly. I think it would slow it down so much that it would barely be usable, I think, because CopyCube, it's made to cater for so many different things that it's affected the speed of the whole, basically, seems to me. CopyCube doesn't have the performance as Irrlicht code, even though it's based on Irrlicht code, because it's got all these extra things it's got to cater for, like WebGL, OpenGL, DirectX 9, even older software drivers as well as DirectX 8, and all this stuff. It's all in there, and other things as well. I think it slows it down. I think that's probably half its problem. It may also be to do with the way it's set up as well. But anyway, yeah, so that's interesting. A bit of a blast from the past. I hope you like that. I will try and get ambient occlusion working if there's any possible chance of that, and then if I'm lucky I'll get FXAA working. Those two are the two main ones I would like to get working, actually. Extremely common for people to use post-processing for both those two things. Even in modern game engines today, they still do that. So I'll have a go at that. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'll have a go. Yeah, if anyone has got some good skill in C++ and shaders, let us know. I could do with a bit of help, but probably not. Most people that watch this are just used to the typical CopyCube graphics, I suppose. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Cheers.